Welcome to episode 318 of the show. This is Nigeria's longest running business podcast dedicated exclusively to the art and the discipline of sales and personal selling. I'll have to apologize because today is going to be another noisy episode, and that's because the baby of the house has come down with an eye infection, and so he is not well enough to get back to school, but he's well enough to run around the house and cause a ruckus. So I'm not going to bother even trying to avoid him and record because he's, when the house is empty, he just wants to go about clinging to whoever it is that is there. So I'll just make the recording and we'll see how we get along. So if you hear any noises in the background, that's going to be either him or the tablet or whatever mischief that he's getting up to. All right, so straight into today's episode, especially since we don't have much time. Okay, so what I'd like us to talk about today, I've been having a look at Instagram, let's see what else. And I've been seeing some stuff on Instagram and where else? Facebook, basically just videos of people squatting to a Beyonce song. And since I don't know what's going on, I live a secluded life, so I don't know what's going on in the world. So as usually happens when these things happen, I always have to reach out to my brother, my sister-in-law, or my wife to find out what exactly is going on. So I asked my wife, why are people going all over the place in their offices and in their houses and outside, and why are they just squatting? And so she gave me the lowdown that there's a new challenge going around. It's not the squatting challenge, is it? The dip it low or the drop it low challenge, and it's sort of like an abbreviated dance from a Beyonce song, and so that seems to be the thing that is making the rounds now. And from a business perspective, I wonder why these things catch on or why these things go around in the first place. Now, from the musician's perspective, it's obvious why you would want your thing to trend like this, because the more people are going around making these videos and squatting, then the more publicity that is going to bring to the fact that Beyonce has a new album out, a new record out. And so this is good and fun publicity and promotions. But then I would like us to have a hard think, those of us who are business owners, whether there is any real benefit to going around and squatting on the internet or doing whatever the challenge has of the day has to be. Because it looks like challenges are here today. I mean, all the way from the plank challenge, which was more than a decade ago, and now we're here at the drop it low challenge. So we have to consider if there's any real benefit to us as business people to go around engaging in these sorts of things. Not that it's bad. In fact, people, I think, especially in the wedding and the event space, use it as a way to create relatable and personable content so that your brides and grooms, or if you're not in the wedding space, so that your potential customers get to see you as someone who is real and authentic and not just an empty suit, or not just someone who is just out there to get their money and nothing more. So if you're going to use it in that sense, then I guess there's no problem with you going all over the internet and your office and squatting all over the place, or planking, or cold water challenge, or ice bucket challenge, or whatever the challenge for the day happens to be. So I guess there's no disadvantage if you look at it in that sense. But I think as wedding and event professionals, or whatever business it is that you're involved in, as a business person, I think you should give it you need to put some hard thought behind whether this is useful for your business or not. And for the other, this is not trying to shame anyone, but for the other business owners out there who I see, in their offices, everybody dropping it, I'm not sure if there's any direct business benefit. This is just my own personal opinion. But I want to give a useful framework for how to go about thinking about creating content online, if content creation is your strategy for promoting your business, either as a plumber, electrician, wedding photographer, or business consultant like myself. So, what's his name? Vaynerchuk, yes, Gary Vaynerchuk and a couple of other people have been very open about the strategies that you can employ when it comes to producing content, and that is either entertainment or education. Some people do a mix of both, but ultimately boils down to that. And so you can be creating lots of entertaining content out there, and the goal is for people to find it engaging, relatable, to like it, to share it, to get some virality, and that's its own thing. I haven't done much research there, so I'm not going to be of much use to you guys when it comes to how to use entertainment strategies around building content. But the one that is close and dear to my heart actually is education, and I think it blends in well for most businesses. Like, for instance, what I'm doing, educating people over here on the podcast, or my second podcast, which is So You're Getting Married podcast. That one is targeted towards brides and grooms on things to expect before getting married and adventures in wedding planning, basically. So with these outlets, I'm able to create educational content that people can relate to and is relevant to their situation. And hopefully, anyway, that's the idea about how I am trying to use content to get some buzz and to promote my own businesses. So, where was I? Okay, well, I guess the bottom line, what I'm trying to bring to it today is that when it comes to creating content, don't just go willy-nilly with whatever is the challenge of the day. The squat challenge, the bucket challenge, the planking challenge, this challenge, that challenge. Because, there's a challenge every other day or every other week. And at the end of the day, if all you're going to do is just go around doing all these challenges, the challenge in itself is not bad. I guess what you have to do is to make sure that if you're going to use an entertainment strategy for creating content, you have to be able to be sure that you have a way for driving some business value out of this. So if you're going to do the whole entertainment thing, is there a way that you're going to get more subscribers, more followers, and then is there a plan to monetize once you have those people within your ecosystem to get some clients out of that? And I think that it's easier to do that if you have an education-based strategy. So I guess what I'm saying is, let's be deliberate when it comes to creating content for social media, because we are trying to grow our sales and not just doing something because it's hot and it's the flavor of the day. So thank you very much for listening to the Sales for the Nigerian Wedding Industry podcast. I'm your host, Abuja-based sales and business consultant and event media professional, Tabishima Ayede. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.